Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Aphrodite, aka Madam Suave. If you are new here, I would like to welcome you to the community. Be sure to check the description box below and like, comment, share, and subscribe if you feel called to. Remember that energy is timeless and fluid. This could be past, present, or future energy. Flip roles if they need to be reversed and only take what resonates, leaving the rest for who it is meant for. Also, put it where it needs to go, okay? So we are going to kind of try to get through this quickly, but the title of today's message is it that you are on two different pages or in two different realities, okay? So yes, you can kind of say that this is going to be a continuation a little bit. I didn't think we were going to kind of dig deeper into it, but here we are, okay? Because this is the energy that came out. So yesterday I was doing multiple things at once. I was doing a challenge while also watching television, while also cooking, okay? So at a point in mid-action, okay, I get a very, very loud ringing in my ear, but not only a ringing, but one of my ears kind of like goes out. Now goes out, I don't know how to best explain it to you. It's like, if you know what that means, you know what that means. I guess you could say kind of like when you go through a tunnel or something, it's kind of how it was, okay? But added with ringing, okay, and it was only one ear. So I'm like, and I always kind of check the time when this happens just to see that, you know, like what exactly is in the energy, or what is the message that is coming in, or what is going on, okay, like what is going on. And so anyways, I check the time, and then I'm also looking at the TV, right, because it's just something that I pay attention to, okay? And so I had the TV paused because I was gonna have to go back into the kitchen and I didn't want to be distracted by the TV, okay? So I'm looking and I noticed that the numbers left in the show and the time that it was, the numbers and the time on the clock, they were not the same, but they added up to the same number, which was 6. Now, Saturn energy is very, very heavy today, okay? Not only is the 10th, which is Capricorn, but it is a numerical 6th day, which is Saturn, and then it is Saturn day. Okay, so we have heavy, heavy Saturn energy. And as I said, those times also equaled 6, which was more Saturn, okay? So there's definitely something to be found within that, okay? Now, I'm also getting that because we have also had heavy root chakra energy coming out, okay? And so Capricorn does rule the root chakra along with Aries energy. And we did talk about the home, all right? So kind of what I was getting from that, because the root chakra is red. So then I started thinking about the red pill, okay? And I'm talking specifically from the Matrix, okay? I'm not talking about red pill, this other stuff that we're going around, okay? So yes, specifically the red pill means to embrace the sometimes painful truth of reality, and the blue pill equals remaining in the blissful ignorance of illusion, okay? Now, obviously it is hard to, you know, kind of stay ignorant, or it's kind of hard to maintain that bliss or blissfulness that comes with, you know, being ignorant, when either that illusion is destroyed or you are no longer allowed to be ignorant to something, okay? So that is kind of what I'm getting. Maybe this conflict that is between you and someone else is either you guys are in two different realities, okay? Or maybe it's that they are just now catching up to your reality and are having a hard time dealing with it as well, okay? Because what I was getting is that, because like I said, the energy that I was feeling at that time, it was so strong. Like the energy that I felt in my ear was so strong that I'm like, something's going on. I'm like, I don't know what, but something is going on, okay? So kind of what I was getting from that is that something either alarming happened, okay? This could have been about something that someone said, something that was said that crushed their dreams, delusion, or self-fulfillment, okay? Now I was also hearing pinballing, okay? So this could be how someone feels concerning life, rapid changes and maneuvers, having a hard time keeping pace, structure, or stability. So it's kind of like hitting walls everywhere. And what I was getting is this is the combination of speed and desperation, okay? This could also be how someone's like, what is happening internally too, like how their mind is working or something of that sort, okay? What I was getting from that is that there is something that is being restrained where it wants to be loosened, okay? So this may be emotional and mental conflict or a battle, something that's happening internally, okay? Or some sort of hyperactivity. And now I want to be clear and tell you guys that I am not talking about anything that, you know, pertains to learning differences, okay? When I say hyperactivity, that's not what I'm talking about. I am mostly talking about on a spiritual level here, okay? So please do not take this and be like, oh my God, well, I have ADHD or something like that, okay? Don't take it and be like, yeah, no, that's not what we're talking about here, okay? Let me just be very, very clear about that, okay? So there is nowhere for the energy to be channeled. Now, but however, okay, for some of you guys, like I said, if you want to, you know, read in between the lines and kind of get what you need to get for yourself, that you may feel like, oh, well, that's definitely not me. But maybe you hear something within that you're like, I can do something with that, you know, go for it. Just please do not internalize anything that, you know, you shouldn't be or something of that sort, okay? But yeah, so there is nowhere for the energy to be channeled, okay? So there is a need to balance between expression and discipline. However, in this scenario, either of those seems to have negative results, okay? So what I was picking up on is a fear of losing control if restricted, and also a fear of losing control if it is expressed, okay? And this is causing like self-implosion, okay? Self-implosion. So you are needing to, whatever this is, you are needing to find a creative solution to solve a conflict, because right now there is just repression, which is feeling like a hot air balloon, okay? So this is someone who, they are in a tough position and feel threatened, okay? Or that position is feeling threatened. Like I said, we're also dealing with spiritual element here, okay? So, whoo, my goodness, here we come. Yes, okay, so we are specifically talking about spirits, okay, because people are vessels for spirits, all right? So basically this is a lose-lose situation, but there has been no reformation here, okay? So lots of negative thoughts and beliefs with aimless or unachievable goals because of what they are rooted in, which is evil, okay? So you are feeling at this time, and this may be also, like I said, what is causing this difference, okay? You feel what someone else cannot because of how strong your spiritual eye is. So you can sense what is not being spoken, which may be causing you to feel uncomfortable, uneasy, or on edge, all right? So there is a yes. So what I was getting is that there is a decision that you are getting ready to, kind of what I'm getting is, and this is so crazy because I don't know if this is like a mutual person between the two of you or something, but kind of what I'm getting is, it's like, I'm leaving it alone. Okay, so anyways, but what I'm getting is that there is a decision that you are getting ready to make independently because you feel like you cannot wait anymore, and this is what you feel that you are being led to. So you would rather than be upset and get on board later than to just sit around and do nothing. Okay, because kind of what I'm getting is that this person, whoever, you know, you are trying to get on the same page with, or something that you are trying to mutually work something out with, or something of that sort, okay, it's like they are not able to think logically at this time because they are too emotional, which is making it easy for them to be manipulated. But whatever this is, there is nothing but darkness in the situation, okay? And you feel like they are under some kind of spell, or that is how they are acting. So you are taking it upon yourself to break them out of it. And now, under some kind of spell, this is almost, we'll talk about it, okay? Because sometimes you have to make tough decisions when it comes to love. So I was also getting that, you know, this other person, they may have an attachment to a memory or what is not there or already gone, okay? So I was hearing proactive and hands-on approach, okay? So this is something that you are taking, is a proactive and hands-on approach, okay? You are feeling a need or a sense of urgency and feeling that this is not something where you can or should wait. Because what I was getting is that waiting is what got you into the predicament in the first place, okay? Talking yourself out of what you knew and believed, or choosing to look past it, okay? Now, what I'm getting is that there is some avoidance here on whoever's part that is, but this is an avoidance of the inevitable, or trying to push it away, push it off, or prolonging, okay? And like I said, prolonging is what gave time for the issue to fester and get out of control. So taking the same approach would not be a wise decision, okay? And maybe this is something that you have kind of voiced, something that you are voicing, okay? But I'm also getting that you may be feeling like they are a little bit too lenient, or may tiptoe a bit, okay? Someone here tiptoes, okay? But anyways, and this took a turn, okay? Now we have some love energy coming through, okay? We have some romance coming through, okay? But you have someone fired up, wanting to show you that they are nothing like what you've experienced in the past, and they don't want there to be any confusion or any room to even make the comparison. They don't want to give you any reasons or excuses for you to make that comparison, okay? So they want to close this gap because they are not letting anyone slip into that spot. I was hearing with you is where I'm supposed to be. So if this person has hurt you, they said never again, okay? Because it hurt them too, and it wasn't their intention. You are literally their perfect match in every aspect, and they would never willingly leave that behind if there wasn't a good reason. So I do also want to say to someone though, be wary and be caution, because you do have a manipulator around. However, I kind of cut their energy out because I didn't want to deal with it in particular. Like, there has been something that has been going on for way too long. So, and once things happen for too long, I just stopped speaking about it. And that's why I said, like, it's like you seek but don't apply. And if you don't seek, and for me personally, if you seek and don't apply, I'm not going to keep talking. talking about it, okay? So yeah, I'm not going to, you guys gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta start applying, start learning. And one thing I wanted to say too though is because I kind of understand. I feel like it was a lesson for me too, because I used to be so hard-headed, and I already told you guys I've had to learn a lot of the things the hard way. And so I feel like sometimes I get stuck, not stuck because I do love you guys, I love you guys, okay? But I realize that, you know, some of you guys are hard-headed too, and I'm so sorry, but I'm not dealing with the same thing that my ancestors and spirit guides dealt with, you know what I'm saying? Just because they have more patience than I do doesn't mean, you know what I'm saying, like I gotta put some fire under your ass. And maybe that is kind of what's happening to you guys, okay? You're seeing what happens when you don't listen, okay? So anyways, so like I said, okay, I cut their energy out because you do not want that, and that alone should tell you the difference, or it should tell you something, okay? So if you do not want to hear anything that they have to say, then that is not who I'm talking about as far as this love connection, okay? They are desperate. Also, if you never felt calm or like you could rest around them, trash can, okay? Trash can. Also, this may be relevant for someone. Maybe you cannot rest around someone, okay? And that is a clear sign for you. You're feeling, you know, a little uneasy, like it feels odd, like you know, okay, you know when you are uncomfortable in yourself. Like I said, we already talked about this earlier anyways, but anywho, but this lover literally sees you in everything reminds you of them. They remember the tiny details about you. However, we are going to leave it there, okay, so that they can wow you themselves, okay? This is only meant to be between the two of you, all right? So that is the end of today's message. If you got anything from this message, if you enjoy my channel, my content, my energy, etc., I do ask that you like, comment, share, and subscribe if you feel called to, and I'll see you guys on next time. I love you all. Bye.